Bobby Fischer, a chess player and public figure noteworthy enough to have a Wikipedia page the size of a short story. At the age of 14, he became the youngest player to win the US Chess Championship, and just a year later, the youngest international grandmaster. This, along with his numerous other accomplishments, distinguishes him as arguably the greatest chess player to have ever lived. But what makes Fischer different from other people? Perhaps like you and me. Is he just naturally more intelligent than us? Or could we be just like him with enough practice? Well, to answer that question, we need to understand what exactly intelligence is, because it's not just one thing, but a compilation of many components. In chess, for instance, these components may include things like fluid reasoning, or the ability to solve new problems and identify patterns. Another important component is comprehension knowledge, which covers the knowledge you've learned over time, like rules for games and vocabulary. Short-term memory, as the name suggests, refers to how much information you can hold over short periods of time, say 10 or so seconds. Lastly, processing speeds refers to how quickly you can handle information. Think of it as how fast your mental computer runs. Now, these are not all of the various categories psychologists may use to describe a person's intelligence, but it's a good start. The next step is performing tests to evaluate these traits. Fluid reasoning might be tested by a series of puzzles based on patterns, such as this one. Pause and see if you can solve it. Comprehension knowledge, on the other hand, might be measured through something more straightforward, like a vocabulary test. To determine the size of someone's short-term memory, you might just give them a random string of letters and see how many they can remember immediately afterwards. Start with a few at first, and repeat with more and more letters until they can't get them all right. Most people can handle about 7. And lastly, to determine someone's processing speed, you could test how long they take in a series of rapid challenges, like flashing arrows and asking them to pick which way it's pointing as quickly as they can. Over the past 50 or so years, psychologists have measured these aspects of intelligence and seen how they relate to things like work performance, athleticism, musical ability, and, of course, chess skill. In the case of chess in particular, the results have been pretty mixed. Some studies have shown a strong positive correlation, indicating that intelligence is a good predictor of chess skill, while other studies have shown weaker or even no correlation. So with paper after paper after paper being published on this issue, how do we make sense of it all? Well, in May of this year, a team of researchers based in Michigan State University answered this very question through a meta-analysis. What this means is they sifted through all the studies related to chess and intelligence they could find, some 2,200 of them, and then they filtered out the ones that weren't relevant or didn't meet the quality control measures taken by the team. After filtering down to about 19 studies on a total of 1,800 people, the researchers standardized and combined them into one giant analysis. Their findings? Across the board, when it came to fluid reasoning, comprehension knowledge, short-term memory, and processing speed, intelligence was strongly associated with chess skill. Of course, this trend is just that, a trend, and factors like practice and preparation do make you play better. But even then, it seems chess players at the level of people like Bobby Fischer are just naturally more intelligent than the general public, regardless of how much you may practice. So unfortunately, when it comes to chess, it looks like the phrase "practice makes perfect" isn't the whole story.